We've been seeing all kinds of things, including visits to the Yana, decorations of our CEO as a big man, putting a new smoke on him. And today is day 4 of the caravan. Let me speak to Sammens, our CEO, who's part of the caravanites who set off on Sunday from Accra, and they are now, I don't know where they are. Sammens, good morning. Where are you guys?
Good morning, Bernard. We are in the Yape Kusoho area.
You're already in motion.
Heading to Larabanga.
Oh, wow. It's 7:38 and you're already moving, which means you want to see the wild animals at Mole before they disappear.
Yes. We planned on leaving at Tamale at 5 a.m. We eventually left around 5:30 with a few stops, but we are almost at Larabanga and then to Mole National Park.
Wow. It's been grueling, right? I think your Ho to Bolga trip was the longest on record. Tell me about that trip.
Actually, maybe not. It's Ho to Yendi wasn't bad at all, except for the last 2 hours of the trip where the road isn't in such a good shape. But I think it's quite a breathtaking route if anybody is coming up north from the south. But I mean, we had a 3-hour delay as a result of a medical emergency in Ho, so that actually added to the long stay in transit. So from Yendi up until Bolgatanga is where we spent the longest time.
So you're saying that the road from Ho to Yendi wasn't that bad. So this is the Eastern Corridor road. It wasn't in such a bad shape.
No, I'll say that by and large, it's for me, it's better than using the regular route through Kumasi and all these places. Except that there's a bad patch which travels well in a bit beyond an hour. But I think it's some work that they have started constructing. So
this will be the first time we've used that road to hit the north. So I'm sure it must have been a different feeling. How describe the place for us? Because I mean, I have not the furthest I've gone personally is Jasikan, using that Eastern Corridor. So for listeners who may not have experienced that area, just give us a sense of the place and why you decided this year to use that route.
So we use that route this year because of the configuration of this year's destination. So we're supposed to go and start from the Upper East, and hitting Ho, the most efficient route will be to go through the Eastern Corridor. So we went through Nkwanta North, Nkwanta South, Jasikan, and all the places that you mentioned, and then moved into the northern side of it. And the road, I must say, is not bad, except that after Nkwanta North, you will now experience some untarred road, and this untarred road would move for in excess of 1 hour, and it's not for the faint-hearted. But
so you opted not to use the ferry, but to cross via a bridge.
Yes, we opted not to use the ferry. I mean, one of the reasons we opted not to use the ferry, the caravan is made up of 13 vehicles with 3 STC long buses and all that. Embarking on the ferry itself may take between 30 and 45 minutes because patrons will have to disembark. Buses moved on the ferry. Land cruisers on the ferry, all the vehicles on the ferry before passengers will now move on the ferry. So that bit would have added maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to the whole route. So we decided to, shortcut it by using the regular route, which now took us straight to Yendi without crossing the ferry, using the ferry. So we just cross the regular bridges.
Let's talk about Yendi. I was at Yendi in 2019. That was my first visit there. At the time, Yana was relatively new. He welcomed us graciously. I think the one I saw this couple of days ago, he looked more settled. Describe the scene for us and what you went to do there.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I mean, look, going back to Yendi for me was the icing on the cake, because you see, it's just you get the reality when they say development. There's development in peace. You know, that sounds like a slogan for a political party. but see what peace in Yendi has offered the people of Yendi and Gabon in general. I mean, you can see new developments happening. The roads are perfect. I mean, look, Bernard, from Yendi to Tamale, I think for me, that's the best road yet that we have used, from Yendi to Tamale.
Oh wow!
Super road, yes.
It means it's been upgraded since I went there in 2019.
Oh yes. And the roads, in fact, the roads and streets inside Yendi itself, you know, and then the Yana graciously welcomed us with his elders, and it was a whole deba on our behalf. He told us his story. He gave us a book that captures the story of the people of Yendi and the Gabon. And then the palace is being rebuilt. That's a bigger story. The palace is being rebuilt, and it's amazing, the architecture. Oh, man, Bernard. So that's for Yendi. You know, when of course, that when the Yana sits in state, you can't be in a hurry. So we have to wait. We have to wait. I mean, when we're going, because of the Ramadan, we were not so sure whether he will physically come out. But once we got there, he offered to be with us, and we ended up spending almost 3 hours there.
Wow. So, 3 hours. That means the whole town was there to meet you.
Oh, yes. Everybody was there. Everybody was there. It was a whole festival. And we left Yendi rather late, say about 6 p.m. And Yendi, we will have to... There are other routes that would have taken us to Bolga, which probably would have taken, say, 3 hours or less. But you know the security situation in the general area.
Mm-hmm.
We were met by the military team, in addition to the already existing police security team that we have. So the military joined us, but they took us back through Tamale. So 1.5 hours, 2 hours into Tamale, and then another 3 hours to 3.5 hours into Bolga. So we actually got to Bolga around midnight.
Wow. The Tamale Bolga road is a very used road. What state was it in, and how was the drive?
It's in a very bad state. So, but you know, because it's street route,
Sammens, can you repeat what you said? You are breaking up. So if you can repeat your answer. Hello?
Out loud. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So take the answer again. I didn't hear the first part.
Okay, I said that Tamale Bolga Road, because it's just a straight route, it doesn't make noise. That's it.
Okay, we're having a bit of a difficulty. I suspect because of where you are. We will try and reconnect. We are not done with him at all. We're trying to get a sense of the trip. This is the City Breakfast Show, and I'm interviewing my boss. Charlie is happy on the trip. He's just enjoying himself.
That's an interesting one.
He has left us here in the cold studio.
Oh, Charlie.
And he's just moving around.
They enjoy.
But we'll come back to him shortly. Please call him back. 6:47. Actually, no, 7:47. City Breakfast Show. Heritage Caravan is in its 4th day. Started on Sunday, and they did the Great Accra and Volta.
Yeah.
Then they drove all the way to Bolgatanga through Yendi, and now they're back in Tamale. finish Tamale, they're going now through Larabanga. So they're in the Savannah region, and then they will go to the Mole National Park, Larabanga, and then they would come down on the western corridor, which is now the N12. So Sammens, I know because you're in motion, the line may be difficult, but thank you for staying. I wanted you to describe the Tamale Bolga road, which you were doing before I lost you.
Please come again, Bernard.
I'm just saying, describe the Tamale Bolga road and the drive.
Yes, the Tamale Bolga road is in a very, very, very bad state. It's in a very, very bad state. I mean, even between last year and this year, it's gotten worse and needs some attention. Because the road that generally should take 2.5 hours to 3 hours, but it takes much longer because of the potholes and they've introduced a lot of speed ramps on their roads, and so it further acts. So it controls speeding, but it also delays movement. So there's a lot of work to be done there.
But beyond the roads, how is Bolga? Because we're told that because of some of the challenges in Boko, Bolga is probably benefiting, but some people also think that the insecurity affects the area. You just spoke about Yendi and how peace brings development. What can you say about Upper East that was most striking to you?
Well, I maybe 24 hours is not enough for us to make a proper determination of what pertains there. But how we felt when we got to Bolga was it was a feeling of just a solemn environment. Everybody going about their work peacefully and nicely. It's a kind of, and for the first time I got to Bolga and the temperature was near normal. That 7 degrees thing that we used to, and like
normal.
And I'm like, it is this Bolga. Everything beautiful, the hotel greenery and everything, So I think for me, so far, Bolga has been my pick. The city that has really, really, really impressed me. And, I think I forgot to talk about the Volta region. The Volta region, for me, it feels like it's a different country. Everything is so neat. Everything is so neat. I mean, it's like, I'm the part of this Ghana. The streets are neat. The villages are. It's like I said, somebody wakes up in the morning to sweep the villages.
So you're not even talking. You're not even talking about just Ho, right? You're talking about.
No. I'm talking about Volta region. I'm telling you.
Wow.
Volta region so clean, and I had the same feedback from those who have traveled from outside of Ghana to join us, and especially those from North America. Like, what's happening? Why is this place so clean? I said, yeah, because Accra, we love that. We love that.
No. Wow. So of course, because the trip today is now in Tamale. Actually, you are leaving Tamale. So
we have left Tamale.
You have left Tamale. Okay.
We are actually now in Savannah.
So now the reason I wanted to, usually March is the hottest month in the year. So it's quite interesting for you to say that for the first time, Bolga wasn't that hot. What about Tamale? What was the temperature like?
Tamale was very hot. Tamale. Yesterday, when we got to Tamale at the Red Clay studio, where in Chichimban had a performance, we got there, it was 42 degrees, man. 42
degrees Celsius.
Yeah, man.
You can fry an egg in a saucepan without a stove.
Degrees,
wow.
Yeah, but
wow.
No bagawaya. We danced our way.
I see. So you went back to Red Clay this year. I think we were there a few years ago, 2022.
But we Jim Band had a live session at Red Clay, so that's actually what took us there.
Oh, nice. And I'm sure for the visitors, Red Clay was a sight to behold. Such a beautiful place in Tamale. Yeah. So what's the agenda for today?
Today we are heading to Mole National Park, where we spend the first part of the day. And then we come out through Larabanga and then go through Kintampo, Techiman, all the way to Sunyani, where we finish off at use that hotel with a dinner dance.
You are a big man and you are enjoying yourself. We are waiting for you here.
Oh, no,
You
no,
go
I'm
and come.
working. I'm working on that.
No, it's called work and happiness. You are working and you are happy in yourself. Thank you, Sammens, for talking to us. That was Sammens. We just called him up to give us an update on the journey.